Hello everyone, this is Scott James Magner. I want to talk to you about archiving DVDs and specifically taking them out of the cases and putting them into other cases. Those who know me know that I like to take things out of big packages and put them in small packages, and that's why you're not looking at my face today. We're going to be looking at my desktop here. In fact, before I start, I want to tell you a little bit of fun. I have gone through 3 different tripods today to get my camera set up the way I want it. I've got the crappy tripod I've been using on my nice camera of recent because it has a lot of distance and go up there, and I can get a little closer to my face when I'm doing videos. I know it makes a lot of noise. Get a little closer to my face when I'm doing videos with this crappy one than I can with the really nice one I'm about to show you. So this tripod is just ace, and if I was walking around the house taking videos with any of my phones, it would be wonderful. It's got a little clip here you can put on to put your camera on whatever angle you want it. This is really a nice tripod. I use it for a lot. In fact, the main reason I have these is for my projectors. I have 2 projectors that are really nice. They're both technically portable, even though one of them is a small form factor, and with these tripods I can put them pretty much anywhere they'll be stable, everything will be nice. But the problem with this tripod is, nice and sturdy and heavy as it looks, it folds out really wide and I don't get a really good camera angle on it. Now, I typically use this thing up tall like this. It's very stable, it's good. In fact, let me put up a little bit there. It's nice and stable, but in general, it doesn't do what I want to do right now. So I am actually using the tripod that I bought that actually came with my light stands for green screen. And I haven't had a lot of success in getting these light stands to work the way I want them to, or these light panels rather. But the tripod itself I'm very familiar with. I had one just like it for the old green screen. And it works really well, it's very stable, and in fact I can put it right here next to my desk. So whenever I need to show you guys something that's going on my desk, I'm going to be using this tripod from now on. For example, if you want to watch me, playing video games, we can do that. It's not all that fun. But that's not why I'm recording this video today. So the reason why I'm recording this video is I buy a lot of physical media. I really am addicted to it. I buy movies. In fact, I buy movies that are one-off nostalgia bits, or sometimes I buy large lots of movies. And at last count, I had over 4,000 discs in the house, and that takes up some space. In fact, I've got basically the back wall of my living room around and surrounding the TV is all cabinets that have discs in them. And those discs are DVDs, Blu-rays, and HD DVDs. I brought up in a static post a few days back, my love of the format, how I search out lots of them, and sometimes I just buy things to throw away 3 of them and keep the other 7 when I buy a lot of 10. Now this has advantages and disadvantages. One, it's an older format. I'm eventually going to come to the end of the collecting process. I'm collecting HD DVDs, but everyone has the same 10 HD DVDs because when they format first released, you could right away and get 5 of them for free. And those 5 are almost always King Kong, the Transformers, the Matrix trilogy, Battlestar Galactica, and I think a couple others like the Italian Job or the Bourne Supremacy or any of the Bourne things. Well, I have all those, right? I've had multiple copies of those over the years, and whenever I see a lot on eBay or on some sales site somewhere, it usually includes those things. In fact, yesterday I saw a lot that was 51 copies, 51 HD DVDs. 40 of them were the Bourne Supremacy, and 11 of them were the Transformers. And nobody needs that. That's for people who are either trying to fill in a hole in their backyard, or they're trying to pepper in crap into otherwise unsaleable HD DVD lots. And I made the decision to just not be in the HD DVD lot business. And so if I get extras, I'm throwing them away. I'm just put them in the recycle bin, that's all they matter. However, for the ones I keep, I do need to store them. And this comes with a couple different challenges. The first off is that typical DVD, Blu-ray, or HD cases are 12 to 14 millimeters. And I have a helpful aid here to show you how much that is. It's somewhere less than an inch. But that's not, that was funny actually. I thought that might have a centimeters on it. Oh wait, no, I have a ruler that does have centimeters on it. Alright, so this is my level. I use it for everything. I love my level. You can see here you got this is graded in centimeters, and it's graded in 2mm chunks for the centimeters. We're going to get a lot of use out of this thing here in the next few minutes to show you what's going on. But 12 to 14 millimeters is the typical standard size, and that, if you go on here, that's like that, or rather, it's like that, right? So, or that's even a better thing to look at. That's how much space you're taking up on your wall for just the spine. The disc itself is 1 millimeter thick, and it's just a lot of wasted space for a variety of reasons. The music and motion picture industry have no interest in fixing that size problem, but they have come up with a lot of smaller solutions. For example, 6mm cases, and I buy these a lot. This is a 6mm Blu-ray case. It's the size you want for collecting both the paper portion of the disc and the disc itself. You can buy these in single or double discs. Capacity, I find that you can fit 2 discs on that button there if you're careful. But what I usually do is I get a paper sleeve for CDs, put the paper sleeve in here with 2 discs if I need 2 discs, or if I have 3 discs or 4 discs, right, I'll put a single disc here and a paper sleeve over here, or maybe even 2 sleeves. So it lets me get a lot of discs in a small space, and I really like the process of taking a Blu-ray out of its packaging, putting it in this packaging, and then recycling the stuff I don't want. It costs more money, but I save time, and it gives me peace of mind. It's a nice activity I can do to settle myself when I'm, watching sports or the news or the horrific political environment that is our hellscape government. All that aside, I buy a lot of these, and this of course works really well when you're doing Blu-rays. Now, the format has evolved in the last 12, 13 years, right? We have 4K Blu-rays now, which come in a black carpet, but they're all still that large width, and they don't have really slim ones, except for when they're made specifically by the manufacturer for large DVD sets. And that's really why we're having this video today, and if you're stuck with me for 8 minutes, you're about to have a lot of fun, or not. This is what I typically do most of my stuff, in one of these or one of these. These are also pretty cheap. This is a 6mm case. You can get these in 5 and 4mm too. You got to really look for them. And you'll note that same technology, disc inside, bit for a card, bit for some paper. But you'll see here that this is not a DVD and it is not a Blu-ray. This is an HD DVD. I have HD DVD players. I have a large number of HD DVDs, and they fit in general in the same cases. Right? The cards are the same. They were competing technologies. They were looking for the same space. And it's really quick to just pop that thing in there. Boom, I'm done. Right? It's a little bit wider. They were a little bit slighter case. And these are one of the very old ones that Universal put out first. And so they really didn't have slim cases in mind. They expected you to keep this. I'm out of focus, I'm sorry. They expect you to keep this in the red plastic case that it came in forever. Now, as it happens, for a while you could get dark red slip cases. And I got quite a few of them. I did a count today, and in the day before these went completely out of stock, you cannot buy these anywhere on the planet unless you go to somebody's house who has them and beat them up. These were the same price as the blue ones. They did the same thing as the blue ones, except they were red, and they didn't have the HD logo on it, but you don't need that because you have the red color to remind you. And I bought 3 lots of 25 of these back in the day, thinking that would last me a long time. Well, today, as of last count, I have 130 HD DVDs. Some of them, quite a few of them in fact, I was able to swap out to the Warner Brothers deal for Blu-rays. But all they required you to do was send back this paper here. So you sent this paper in, and they would send you a Blu-ray. Like that. You got to keep your HD DVD, you could throw them away, you could do whatever you want with it. And so what I did is I made paper copies of all of these by just putting them on the scanner and copying them, and printing them out and making my own cards to put in the cases when they came back. And I had these cases, of course, but more often than not, I just put the HD DVD and the Blu-ray in the same case, one of these blue cases, or in very rare circumstances, if I had the Blu-ray, the HD DVD, and the DVD, I would put them all in one of these, with, of course, the DVD being here and the HD ones being on this side in the paper sleeve. So I have been despairing about what to do because this looks ugly to me, right? I don't like the extra space here, but in particular, I don't like that it's not as pretty. Sorry, went out of focus again. It's not nearly as pretty or sharp as having this clean, clear plastic case that you can work with. So before I devolve completely into madness and start putting HD DVDs in a Blu-ray case, I'm sorry, I lost this focus again, and I don't know why that keeps happening. Alright, I can't do a lot about that right now, but I will adjust it the best I can when I'm in post-production. I have been looking for a while at various other options, and one of them that I've come across is that DVDs also fit in clear plastic cases, and people also like to have clear plastic cases to put their DVDs in. So I went and did a search, real quick search for red. Didn't find the red that I wanted. I did find a red though, and I found an orange. Now, these cases are slim. I got them today, but they're not the same kind of slim, because here is a stack of 10 of the red ones, and here's a stack of 10 of the orange ones. You'll know something about these. I've got a lot better room to work with on the orange. I really hate the fact that, oh, there we go. This takes up a lot less space than this does, right? And this red is not a good red. When you compare it to this really dark red, you know, that's not stacking up. But the orange is fairly close, or rather it has the same general appeal that I can work with for the red. And so I'm going to test out real fast how these two cases are going to work for me, because I have, as I said, 130 odd HD DVDs and 75 of these red cases. So I'm not getting any more of the red cases, so I have a couple options. One is to put them there. It's you can raise it up a few quarters of an inch back and forth. It's tight, got a good space in there. It's not too bad. And the other is to use these orange ones. Now, I could go centered on that as well, but what I'm going to do for the purposes of this exercise is I'm going to slide it all the way down, which is how I have been doing these in the DVD case, the slim DVD cases. So I thought I would hate the red more than I do, to be honest. But what I hate most is having an asymmetric piece of paper in there So I'm going to slide that up a little bit. The easiest way to center this is to put your paper, slip paper, right on these two hooks for the interior card. And if you do that right, they'll all be roughly the same. And I think I like that better. But my big dilemma here is to go with orange or red, and I'm going to go with orange simply because they're smaller, they're thinner, and they give, I think, a better color profile as compared to the cases I actually like, which are the dark red. So that is part of my afternoon, is doing that. I wanted to make this video not only to talk about how crazy I am in my continual reshuffling of plastic, but I wanted to see what I could do here on my desktop with the camera and the microphone over there. Now, I have several workstations in this office. One is here with my main computer workstation, and the other is this video burning, or rather media archiving station over here. In fact, try focusing in again. There we go. So I've got several network attached storage. There's a non-streaming one and a streaming one over yonder. I've got a Mac Mini here. I'm going to upgrade the Mac Mini in a couple days. In fact, I'll probably use this tripod and this camera set over here to give me the workspace I need so you can actually see me doing the electronics bits. I thought about recording, installing an SSD cache in the streaming server today, but I took pictures instead, trying out my options, how we want to do stuff. But for Idiot with a Camera News, you know, we need to, with the microphone news rather, we need to explore our options to see the kind of stuff we want. Also, I'm checking out the lighting in the room. I've got the lighting set to 50% of normal with voice commands, and I've got my window all, got the blinds drawn on my windows, so I've got passive lighting coming in there, some overhead lighting coming down, some shaky cam. But I think this camera angle works fairly well for seeing things that we've got going up in here. I won't bore you with me putting more discs in more cases, but keep in mind when you're buying stuff like this that these are technically the same size. They're both advertised as 6mm cases, but one of them is a much different kind of 6mm than the other 6mm. So I thank you for sticking with me. I know I'm a little crazy to do these videos for no reason, but it's the kind of things that I'm really interested in. And in fact, if you look at this, in fact, let's just get right down to it. This is an even thinner, which is roughly the same size as the orange one, but I have some that are half this size. They're 4mm as opposed to 6, and they are wicked easy to file and get up there. I hate it when the autofocus goes out. I should really do this without autofocus on. In fact, if I can get that done here. There, I should have done no autofocus the entire time. Alright, so now you can see what I should have done the first time. This is why I'm an idiot with a microphone rather than a very savvy person with a microphone. I will dial in the focus ahead of time for my next video, and you won't have to suffer from the blurry. But we got it up there. They're fairly close, but they're not exact. And I promised I would use my level because I love the level. You can see 3 of them together is less than an inch. Or rather, let's do it this way. 3 of them together is less than an inch. If I've done this right, you should be able to get 4 of them in a standard inch, whereas you would get 1 1/3 normal DVD in that space. Now, when you understand the amount of space we're talking about here, a typical shelf on a bookcase is 35 inches. So 35 inches, you're getting roughly 30 DVDs in that space. But when it's 5 or 6 millimeters, you're getting a lot more. In fact, 30 centimeters is a foot, right? So you're getting, yeah, you'll get 25 of these in this foot, and then you'll get 75 of them roughly on the same shelf. So it's a dramatic increase in storage capacity, and you know, it's fun to put the paper in these sleeves, as I said. So thank you very much for bearing with me. I'm going to review this video, see how egregious the autofocus and sound problems are. I may end up putting on my headset and re-recording the entire video, but I hope not, because we learn by doing. Thank you very much for checking out the video. If you are at all interested in more stuff that I do, you can find me online at www.scottjamesmagner.com, or on Facebook. I believe it's www. You can find my name, Scott James Magner, on Facebook, and friend me or follow me or do whatever you want to do. Well, I will get back to my archiving, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.